Welcome to Live Edge. Tonight we've got a special guest, Mr. Scott Wiener from the Crafty Weiner. My name's Matt.
I'm Amy.
And this is 731 Woodworks. Welcome to the live show. First thing I want to do is give a sawdust spotlight shout out. And I want to show you what Mr. Leo Lumi built.
So this is what Mo picked out. Leo Lumi made these. He's actually made a lot of incredible things that he's posted to our community. But when Mo saw these, she sent them right away. They're super cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Very
lanterns. Cool. I mean, and I read about I actually found those a day or so before really Mo did, and she sent them to me. I'd already looked at them, but those are super cool. Super cool.
Really
so,
cool.
Guys, check out Leo Lumi's post in the community. Look at him, show him some love. We'll give him a shout out on the community after the show tonight.
That's really nice. Also, big thank yous to some people who sent items this week. Mr. Charlie sent me this mallet. So if you follow on Instagram, you may have seen that. Try to get focus. It won't focus. It's got our logo on one side, John 3:16 on the other, and then he personalized it with a message on there. And this is a really awesome mallet. He done it with his CNC. So that's really, really cool.
Did you read them? What was
It's a special message.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to read, but just show
it
him.
It says, Matt, just as God's words are like a hammer, use this one to help you move things. Your brother in Christ, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie.
I just thought that was so super cool.
That's awesome.
Y'all go ahead and keep dropping those states. We'll give a shout out after our guest is done tonight.
And then speaking of the guest, Mr. Scott Wiener sent us a couple of shirts.
You gotta let me show mine though.
All right.
You show yours.
Mine says, oh, I hit the mic. Mine says, get in your shop and make something beautiful. The Crafty Weiner. And then Miss 731 went a little more risque on hers.
So he actually wore this shirt in something that he did
on the King interview
when he was helping with Mr. King
James
get set up. And I saw it, and he sent me one, y'all. Hardest wood in the universe. I love this shirt.
That's a good one.
My daughter Mo said, I thought it was a family show. Y'all, it's just wood. I love it. So thank you.
Yeah. And then also one more thing. In last week, if you've been following me on Instagram, my stories, you may have saw that I got a gift in from Brother Riv again. Let's see. There it is. I think I just threw it up there. I got a Festool dust extractor with a sander combo. I mean, this thing's awesome, y'all. Thank you for that. I used it today working on a desk build. I'm hoping to have out not this Thursday, but next Thursday. It's all ambrosia maple. There's not one single pocket hole in this project. Shocker.
Can y'all believe that?
I've dialed it all together. It probably is not going to go well. I can tell that they're not fitting together exactly right. They're close, but not perfect.
I told them it's perfectly imperfect.
Yep. But it's like ambrosia. Ambrosia is an imperfect wood because of all those beetle holes and bug holes and stuff, but it's really sharp looking so far. I'm actually excited about it.
All right, so let's bring on our guest.
All right, welcome, Mr. Scott Wiener from the Crafty Weiner. How you doing, man?
You can say it 5 times. It's great. It took me like a year to name the shop, so don't worry about it. Wear that shirt proud, Amy. I mean,
absolutely. I love it.
It took the King's admin group. We spent an entire night just coming up with slogans. And we just kind of.
I think it's perfect.
It's tough. It's tough when your last name is a body part to name your wood shop. I mean, it legitimately took the better part of a year. So
it's fantastic.
So do you have those?
I mean, like, how do you do it? I mean, I toyed around with like Wiener's Woods. That doesn't work. Right? I mean, it's just bad all the way around.
Do you have those for sale anywhere?
Yeah, actually, I'm getting ready to get my store up. Getting ready to do my first giveaway, which is going to be kind of fun. So I'll get that link up here probably tomorrow.
Good deal.
I mean, just slowly, day by day.
Let's check him out when he gets.
And if anybody wants to check out his YouTube channel, he's links in the description below. He's building a new shop, and we can follow along in that progress. With that, I would like to know how you got into woodworking. What brought you to woodworking?
So it's pretty interesting. I kind of have been a tinkerer my whole life, just working with my hands. Especially grew up in a family business and warehousing, so I would spend a lot of time in the shop per se helping. And then when my wife got pregnant with our daughter Samantha, I decided to build her dollhouse. It's just something I wanted to do forever, and I went amazingly OCD on it. It took me 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
Um, Yeah, yeah. And then another daughter came, so we made another one, and another daughter came, and we made another one. And so it just kind of progressed from there. Yeah, I just kind of kept. I'd always wanted to learn how to turn
Mm-hmm.
because I grew up watching Norm Abrams um, and New Yankee Workshop on Saturdays and Sunday mornings, and he'd pull the lathe out, and I would get really, really, probably if I look back on it, scary excited. And so I bought my first lathe, and it just kind of progressed from there.
Awesome.
That's
So
cool.
did the last dollhouse take 2.5 years as well, or did you?
A little bit, yeah, yeah. I mean, there are. You know what? I should do that. I should probably put some photos up on
Yeah.
my feed about it because what happened was I thought I was just buying this kit and I was going to paint it. And we lived at the time in Frederick, Maryland, and my wife and I would go down to Market Street and we would walk Market Street, and we legitimately bumped into a store called Dollhouse Miniatures and walked in there, and it was just like pow. Like, wait, I can light these things. There's wallpaper, yeah, and it just, yeah,
So
it
it was a
was,
fancy one. Huh?
Do y'all
yeah,
still have
yeah.
them?
Huh?
Do you still have them?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, they're sitting downstairs and they're wrapped up. And
So cool.
I never got furniture in them. That's the best part because I built them. It took so long to build them
They turned
that we never
16.
got.
They didn't want to play with dolls anymore.
Right. All right. So we'll save it for hopefully the grandbabies one day. Maybe they'll take them for that. But I should probably get some photos up of them. They were fun projects. They were my little. I called it my little self-diagnosed OCD therapy. Because to your point, you're talking about ambrosia. I totally get what you're saying, and so with you're making the little stuff, it's not that costly. Okay, that cut isn't perfect. We'll just do
Right.
another one. A little different on an 8-foot slab,
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so
So you've just recently gone full time in this, right?
yeah, yeah. About a year and a half ago, like I said, I've been working in a family business, and the timing was just right. So we got out of the family business, and I kind of sat around. I'd already had my shop, and I was building stuff for friends, and that was just kind of my weekend zen out. Go downstairs, turn some stuff, and then people started actually wanting to buy some stuff, and I kind of kept pushing them off and pushing them off and pushing them off, and just continued to make stuff for friends. And then about 18 months or so um, after sitting around basically between my house and being a volunteer medic and just sitting there going, I can't sit around anymore. I got a pretty big commission job that was not going to fit in the basement shop. So I started looking for space, and it just has been day by day since then. It's literally, it's funny. People say, oh, how do you do this? I have no plan.
I,
People think we have a plan. We don't have a plan.
I
There's no
think we're
plan.
we're kind of in a similar boat because, I mean, we jumped in full of faith that God's going to provide, and we just kind of winging it day by day and hoping each video we put out each week does well enough to keep us afloat. And this is kind of how we're winging it right now.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, so started looking for space and found this space in Whitehall, Maryland, and it's right off the National Capital Railroad's trail. It's quiet. There's a river out back, and the ultimate goal is really to build a destination shop. I mean, I kind of want you guys to come visit. I want my
Awesome.
friends at King to come visit. And like do collabs and hang out and chill. And it's a total waste of me in this space by myself. It's
So how big of a space you got?
so the space, the work. It depends on who you talk to. If you talk to the landlord, I'm not quite sure, but it's about 4,000 square foot worth of workshop space and 1,100 square foot, give or take, for a storefront and gallery, hangout, office space. And so, I mean, it's going to turn. The ultimate goal is step by step, organically. It's really cool. I mean, I don't know what your area is about. I think that I've had a lot of neighbors that just stopped by.
Yeah.
Like they're driving by and they see this old building. Again, the building was built in 1860 or 1870 or something. So they're just happy to see something come in there, and it's amazing how many of them are like, "Oh my lord, I'm a woodworker. You have tools?" And,
That's awesome.
and so so people have been starting to show up, and one of the neighbors dropped off. I don't know if you can see it in there. Did I go the right way? Probably. Yeah, those logs of ash back there.
Nice.
Yeah, they just showed up and said, "Hey, I think you can make bowls out of these." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I can make bowls out of that. That's fine."
That's awesome. Did you build the chair yourself?
Yeah, this was my entry into the King's Fun Woodworking Adirondack build off. Yeah, this was my Purple Heart white oak creation.
Well, there's people commenting saying they like that chair you're sitting in.
Thank you. They can get the plans from King's. It's James' plans. You know, James came up with these plans.
I have to one I'm building one based off his plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You doing it hardwood or are you doing softwood?
I don't know. What am I doing?
We don't know yet.
Well, let's talk about it because you
something. So I'm gonna get his plan and I'm gonna build his Adirondack chair. We'll see.
Yeah. So if you decide, let me know, because if you decide to go on hardwood, we can alter it a little bit because this one's thinner. You know, it's only 3/4 inch thick. You don't want to. I mean, this is a monster. It's white oak and Purple Heart. I mean, it weighs a metric ton.
Mine may look like something that.
Not about really good. You do good.
No, it's a good. I would call it a good advanced DIY project. I mean, if you just take your time, it really isn't a hard project.
We'll try it.
Is there anything you specialize in, or you're more of a jack of all trades? You just build whatever.
So it's really that's a really good question because I don't know. One of the things I'd love to show it to you, but we moved outside because it's 90 degrees in the shop right now. We don't have air conditioning. I say we like it's anybody else here. You know, one of the things I started making about 3 years ago were beer mugs. And they started out as solid wood, and then they went from solid wood to hybrid setups, and then they went from solid wood to resin topped and bottom with translucents and all sorts of funky stuff.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, so I came out with a line of actually Harry Potter inspired ones because it's just fun.
Love that.
Yeah. So I don't have one close by. It's I don't want to brag, but it's a far walk. I mean, it's like, but
everybody in here is jealous.
Jason Priestler said that's a bit bigger than his 8x10. I think that was him that said that.
Yeah, it was really funny when I went out to Denver for the meet and greet when you guys met. You know, I came back and I did an actual coffee chat video, my last drop last week, and I talked about the space and saying, you know, when you're sitting, it's really cool to have this much space, but this is tough. I mean, to lay this out is tough, you know, trying to figure out. I think I've set this thing up about 4 or 5 times at this point. And it was actually James's wife, Rupa, that finally said, "You guys are doing this wrong." And she took a piece of paper and wrote everything down. She's like, "Here's your shop."
Awesome.
I'm like, "Oh, thank you, Rupa." You know,
in 3-4 years from now, you'll be like, "Where did all my space go?"
So,
well, what I'm hoping, I'm leaving space off to the side for metalwork, and you know, we'll see. Look, best case scenario, God be good to me and the creek don't rise. You know, I fill out the space, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If I don't, I've got a really cool space to throw an occasional EMD rave with my friends, you know, and we can just throw a dance off or something like that in there. It's all good.
That's awesome.
So some are asking about what the t-shirts say. I'm not sure whose shirt, but if you're looking at Mr. Scott's, it's the Crafty Weiner. I don't know. Can you show your shirt? Because I'm sure you
can. I can. If I stand up, it gets awkward.
There, you can see it all there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we got.
If you're looking at his, it says even if you don't, and mine says Jesus praying mama, because that's what I'm doing. So I didn't know.
By the way, I want to give my own shout out. I did see Mike from MK Designs, who I spent time with, asked me if I'm missing Colorado. Yes. Yes.
Miss that weather, don't you?
Yeah, I miss the company and the weather. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. They love. Mr. Alfredo is asking if his shop has a green door.
Very important.
Please don't paint your door green.
Actually, no, they're all red.
You need a green
door.
Sorry. It's just how it is.
No.
Why?
Well, in our garage door that leads into the house was painted green when I first started.
They ask every guest
this. and so it's caught on. Everybody loves the green door except for a few people who don't and want to paint it. You know, it's like a movement now. I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, so, sorry about that like weird jerking motion. We just had a cicada fly by.
Oh, that's fine.
I
Like
could
it like dive bombed and hit me. It was great.
I could hear them a while ago. It made me think of being out in the country. I loved it.
So, do you have any projects in the works right now?
Yeah, the shop. Yeah,
Project.
uh, yeah. No. I finally settled in. It took it again. It's been full court press since April 1. That's when I took on the space. And finally, about 3 4 weeks ago, I said, you know what, time out. I'm gonna. I guess it wasn't even. It may have been 2 weeks ago, right before I went to Denver. I said, oh, okay, time out. I'm actually going to get back to getting creative. Building out a space like this is exhausting,
I bet.
and especially on the storefront side. So I've put myself in this scenario where 4 days of creative work, 1 day in the build out. Um, so yeah, I'm in the process of working some mugs. I just finished an end grain cutting board with James. We did a project together. That video
That's
will
all.
drop.
Mhm.
Yeah, that video will drop next week. So just finished that. And I've got this commission build that I'm planning, which is a huge table. It's a 15-foot long, 52-inch wide ambrosia maple
Nice.
river conference room table with a full tech build out.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so come up. I need help. I need it's just
My hand's still numb from sanding today, and mine was only 5 foot by what 25 inches or something.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm really hoping and praying. I've done a couple tables before with ambrosia, and I used a carbide flattening
Mm-hmm.
bit, and it came off pretty decent. So I'm probably kidding myself. You're right. I'll be sanding for like 10 hours. There's no, it's
Nah,
just
those platinum bits work really well. If you can,
yeah.
Charlie's playing with the lights.
and she. So, any advice you would give to somebody who wants to go full time woodworking? So, you're more full time woodworking, and not so much content creation at the moment, right?
I'm like 50-50. That was again my trip to Denver, and again I spent a lot of time with Mike at MK Designs, spent a lot of time with James, and we kind of, I think the goal is to be more content oriented. I'm hoping to drop something. I mean, I said in my update I wasn't promising anything, but the reality is I'm trying to do one a week
Yeah.
or one every other week, and really push the content because I do like teaching. I mean, I do
Mhm.
enjoy it. I actually like this. This is fun. And you'll probably see me shift more towards content, but I don't want to lose that. I think we all have the same problem, right? We all like the content. We like helping people and being there for people and teaching people. But we all get fearful that we're going to lose that creative spark, and I think that's what you and I will probably be talking about a year from now, like how we both did, because
Right. And
how do you balance that?
that's what I like about content creation is right now I don't build for anybody else. We're just building for ourselves. And if there's a project that come along, somebody pitched me an idea, and I was like, yeah, I want to make a video on that. Then that's when we would take the project on. But typically, we're just I started out building. That's all I was doing was building to sell, and we
Mhm.
get pretty good at it. But as far as going full time in South Arkansas as a woodworker, it's almost I'm not gonna say it's impossible. Somebody could probably do it, but it would be very difficult
It's
because
time consuming.
Yeah,
there's not enough
yeah.
popularity.
There's a lot of excitement for my shop, which is really kind of interesting for me because I'm not a known maker, So, but I've got a lot of people reaching out. So I think the answer to your question is that you're going to see me head more towards content, mainly because of the shop build out, and I like making funky things, So I mean, I think you're going to see me moving more towards content, and doing made to order stuff like this conference table build, and then I have a partnership with Stone Coat Countertops. I've been friends with Mitch for years now, and so I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with their product and seeing if I can push that envelope a little bit.
I'd like
I've got a
Yeah.
that
what?
stone coat. That's something that I'd be interested in using.
But we should talk because one of the things I did, and I didn't. I'll send you a photo because I didn't want to put it up, but I did a resin art, and I did an ocean pour, and I did one, and it didn't meet my standards, which I
Yeah.
guess everybody on here probably recognizes that means it was probably perfectly fine, but you hate your own work. But yeah, we can talk offline about that. I haven't done a countertop yet, but I've done the resin art, and I'm actually really looking forward to um, teaching that. That's one of the things I'm going to do out of the storefront. I'm really kind of want to hone that craft and
That would
do
be
that. So it sounds, yeah, it sounds like we're kind of in the same boat. But you asked me a question, and as normal, I went on a
no,
different
That's
that's
okay.
path.
fine. That's fine.
That's what this show is
Yeah,
all about.
That's right.
yeah, right, yeah, yeah. I mean, my advice, I don't have a plan. That's, I mean, I did see the one person that asked. I got the comments up, but too. I did see somebody ask me how I went from a job, but that had benefits and stuff. Unequivocally, I'm blessed to be in the position I'm in. I mean, we had a family business, so I'm going to be okay. So I'm afforded chapter number 2. This is kind
Awesome.
of this is my retirement chapter 2 option. So from that perspective, I recognize how blessed I am for that, and I'm not taking that for granted
Yeah.
at all.
So I've never
So
like thinking about retirement. Like we've talked about travel and stuff, but we're not. I've never thought that I'm going to get to this age and then I'm just going to sit and watch TV all day. I can't imagine doing that. Like I need something to do.
right, yeah, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed working in my shop in my basement, and then we'd get a fire call like 2, 3 times a day, and I'd go drive the engine, and that was cool. You know what I mean? And I'd hop on a critical medic call if it was in our first due area or something like that, and I would help out from that perspective. And it's not that I don't enjoy that; I love that. I fully uh, believe in paying it forward, so I'm not giving up my volunteer life. But that routine was really, after 18 months, was really starting to, because I wasn't leaving my house. Forget pandemic, because I rode the medic unit throughout COVID. I
Right.
mean, I never missed a beat. In fact, I picked up extra shifts. So it wasn't about that as much as just not, like you said, you're at home and
Mhm.
we're still young. I mean, we're 50, so it's not, our kids are still young. So it's not like we're going to go travel somewhere and do something.
Right.
So this just seemed like a logical thing to do. So my advice would be, if you want to do it, just do it. I
Mhm.
don't, I hate to say that. It sounds like a
No, but that's what everybody.
tennis shoe commercial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
We're the same
everybody.
way. We
Yeah,
just
has said.
you had to do it. I mean, it's either you know,
There's always a fear of the unknown,
of
but
course.
how are you ever going to know if something can happen if you don't try?
Steve Harvey has a famous quote, and he says he don't. He said he don't want to die with the dream still on his back, and that always, when he said that, that just resonated with me so much.
Hmm.
That they just don't want to.
Yeah, and I
There's another story about I think it may have been him too, talking about when you're laying on your deathbed and your dreams are standing around you, wanting to know why you didn't try, kind of thing. It just kind of gives you a
yeah.
message.
Yeah, and so and also with your we'll call it past job experience and my volunteer experience and stuff I do, you tend to see. I mean, we see a lot of good stuff, but we tend to have a different, say, view on experiences, right? So I definitely as I got older, as I got closer to the half century mark, and I'd done a couple things on the medic side that had me see some stuff, and I'm like, it's just not. Like
Yep,
I'm not ready to just kind of lay down yet.
that's
It's
the
too
same.
soon.
So,
There's that dream your kids will go. There's that dream your kids will help you, right? I
oh
mean,
yeah,
there's that dream.
yeah, yeah, that dream's not happening.
So you have a question from Mr. Jackie. He says, "What
Mm-hmm.
are a couple of projects you have found that have helped keep you as a full-time woodworker?" So maybe.
Well, go
Maybe
ahead. I'm sorry.
best selling projects,
Well,
maybe,
no, I think it's more
or
of.
more intriguing.
I was thinking from a financial standpoint, maybe. What is?
So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm still in spin up mode, and that's the
yeah.
funny thing. So I haven't really. This is excuse the cliche, a leap of faith. I mean, I've got a signed deal for a commission build that's gonna be a decent build, and that'll get me through a portion of the year. But I'm sorry, I wish I could tell you, but I mean, look, I mean, certainly depending on where you are in the country, people certainly get by on Adirondack chairs and cutting
Yeah,
boards and
yeah.
pens, and my mugs do. I mean, I haven't even publicized my mugs yet, but everybody likes them, and I'm
Hmm.
just trying to figure that one out too. So I mean, I think the answer to that is finding your niche, and like we'll call it your, I hate this term, but your cash cow, the one that you can turn over, and then everything else just kind of becomes a bonus. I mean, that would be my advice. Now, the fact that I don't think either one of us has found that yet is just a different conversation for a different
Well,
day.
when I was doing woodworking on the sides, this is a part-time job. I was still doing YouTube, but I
Your
wasn't.
stove cover was your
Yeah, I was building those stove covers like crazy, but it got to where I was just that's all I did every day, all day. Work, build those things. On the weekend, I would build every spare minute. I was building those things, and it just got to where I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Not that I like woodworking, I just don't like doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, so it's really interesting because one of the things I'm doing, and I was trying to figure out how to do content around it because I hate to. It's funny. I heard you make the joke about pocket screws. I love pocket screws. I don't care. But I there's that huge debate about CNC work, and so I finally got my first CNC right when I moved in here, and when it comes to repetitive, I'm trying to figure out how to do that content. I'd really like to do a coffee chat, or maybe you'll have me back. We can banter about that for a while, like for things about production. Because for my mugs, my mugs that are taking me 4.5, 5 hours to do each one handmade, and yet you go on and we'll call it an internet shop, and people want it only for $50, and it's like,
Yeah.
I have 4.5 hours, and like $30 in materials tied up in this.
Right.
Forget my. So I've been spending a lot of time working on mechanizing that process so that they're still handmade, because I still need to touch them. I still need to put them together. I still need to true them up and stuff, but trying to crunch that. And what role is that going to play in my shop? I mean, as a single person shop, you're a single person shop. You get it. I mean, like, how do you get that part-time help and mechanize for these, especially for the home woodworker that wants to get started, right? Like for the home woodworker that wants to get started and wants to do things. I mean, technology is the future that will allow you to be successful. And
we got a video coming out Thursday about CNCs, and it's basically the starting point of a CNC series that I'm going to put together. That Shapeco Carbide 3D sent me a Shapeco 4, and was told me to see what I can do with it. And so I'm going to see if we can actually batch out enough stuff to actually start generating a decent income, and I can tell people, yeah, this is a viable option for you, or I couldn't make it go. So I just want to try to see if I can prove that fact. But
yeah, and that's kind of something I'm working on right now, and I see a lot of woodworkers that get a lot of my core friend group fall into this group where they've got the stuff that they're making repeatedly, excuse me, and they're struggling because then they get the big order and then that's all they do. And so maybe we can, we'll talk offline. That'd be just between friends, fun to just bash ideas around, because I'm getting ready to go down, take the family to the shore for a couple days. And when I get back, that is actually one of my big focuses, because I mean, I am paying. See, the neighbors stop by. I have to start generating some level of revenue, right? And that's a good way to generate revenue. So if I can if that can batch out 14, 15, I'll call it cores in a day, and then they're just kind of sitting there waiting, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's not. So that'll be an interesting journey for you, and an interesting video for me.
Hands, basically.
I'm sorry?
I think a CNC is just a good extra set of hands to have in the shop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially for, like I said, for that stuff you're building over and over again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So far to date, what's your favorite project that you've ever made?
Ouch.
Dollhouse?
I was thinking dollhouse. That's what I was thinking.
The dollhouses are certainly special, and by the time I got done roofing them one shingle at a time, I wanted to throw them out the window. But they were super special. I'll call it in my maker career.
Yeah.
I did a couple things for Beads of Courage when I first started turning. And that was my first segmented turning, and I got a lot of joy out of that because, again, I like to go weird. So I actually turned I think I have I might actually have a video up on that one. I actually did a honey pot, Pooh's honey pot, and I used stone coat as the honey, and I kind of dripped it on the outside to make it look like it was this overflowing pot.
Yeah.
You know, and then I got the opportunity to take it to the pediatric center at Sinai Hospital in downtown Baltimore, and they gave it to a kid with cancer, and that was definitely like a really, really cool project, you know, to just, and I want to get back into that type of stuff too. We'll call it charitable making, you know, that type of stuff is. So that would probably be my favorite, I would think.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I'll have to look for that.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I had no idea what I was doing either, by the way.
The weird stuff.
So everybody that
me, like the weird stuff's the best stuff.
Yeah, no, everybody thinks we know what we're doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, you know. Like I'd never done a segmented turn before in my life, and I bought a book and I watched videos. I'm like, oh, I can figure this out.
Yeah.
The B-roll was fantastic of stuff blowing up on the lathe. I mean, it was just great, but in the end, it worked out. You know, it was just.
That's funny.
You could probably get a viral video just posting uh-ohs on your.
I've got a couple where the mugs flew off the lathe at me, and I've got them kind of set on the side, and they just go, and I put them on slow motion, and it's like, oh shit, you know.
Well, you know what time it is?
You have to excuse us for a minute. We got power tip time.
Gotcha.
But I think what he's been helping us with tonight works right along
it does.
with it.
The power tip is don't try to do everything alone. We're created for community. And so with that in mind, we're going to extend an open invitation to our viewers who want to come on during the show, maybe for a few minutes each show, have a viewer here or there.
We'll give them some more information on that.
Yep, and that you can come on and give advice to other people that you've learned.
Yeah, and so, but it ties into what Mr. Scott was saying, because he said that you and him could bounce ideas off of each other. You know, all of us out here want to think that we know everything sometimes, but it's great to use the feedback from each other, draw strength from each other. So I think what you were.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I mean, I have coffee chat with my core group every day. I mean,
you know what?
Michael tell you I call him like 6 times a day. I drive him nuts, you know. But it's all about the community, and you know, when you do this, getting surrounded, you know.
Yeah, we've got, like, I can't say enough about our viewers or our community. I mean, they're friends to us because, like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. The relationships you build on here.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm starting to get a couple of those as my channel's growing and my page is growing, and I'm starting to get those messages from people that said, hey, I was having a crappy day today, but you did something really, really nerdy and dorky, and you made me smile, and I get it like in a direct message. And you know, with that comes a certain level of responsibility. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. Thank you, Uncle Ben. You know, but you know, that makes me feel good knowing that, you know, we can be there for the community, and they're there for us too, because at the end of the day, we're doing it for each other.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We're all in it together.
Yep.
Amen. Scott, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
No. I mean, it's great meeting everybody. It was really cool. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
We appreciate it.
Go back through some of the comments. You know, you've got some fans in there, so that's great.
Yep.
You know,
that's kind of, yeah. I mean,
for you, and he was a little late coming in, I think, but he said he was super excited you were on the show tonight.
Oh, heart. I mean, I don't know what else.
And, so your channel is the Crafty Weiner, and I'm assuming on Instagram is the same title.
Same on Facebook, same on Instagram. The website should be up in the next week or two.
Okay.
We have another question for you, really quick. Stephanie Simmons, she's been a great supporter of ours. She wants to know, what is the one tool that was a big game changer?
You know, Stephanie, that's a really good question. And I think that depends on who you are and what you're making. Because I know you guys want me to leave, but I could do 15 minutes on that. Because, you know, but I mean, if you think about it, we talked about the CNC. So for me, that's a huge game changer if I can make this mug thing work. I've made quite a few resin tables, right? And so I picked up my first drum sander. And the project that I did for Beads of Courage, which was a segmented turn, a drum sander would have been invaluable. Meanwhile, I'm up there holding it up against this handmade sanding disc I made on my lathe, which when you think back on it, that was really freaking stupid.
I've been there and done
Right.
that.
Right. So that's a good question, Sammy. I think it really, really depends on I think every project has a game changer, right? If you
Yeah.
don't have that tool.
Right.
I think that's I would love to say, oh, it was my blah.
Yeah.
But the reality is, it's, I really think it depends on what your niche is and what project you're trying to do. That's really deep, isn't it?
No, I think that's probably what they need to hear. They need to hear, the
Yeah.
truth.
I mean, whatever.
And really quick, Married Man says you know him as R.T. Branham. Do you know who that is? As R.T.
Who?
R.T. Branham?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's Married Man. He said that's how you would know him.
Yeah.
Also, you've got some new subscribers. They just posted and said they've subscribed to you
Awesome.
and added a bunch of your videos to their watch list for later. So, super cool.
Like, it's going to make me cry. I'm kind of like a sensitive guy. Don't do that.
Thank you so much for joining us
We
tonight.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure.
wonderful.
It really was. It really was a pleasure. We'll get together on the resin art thing whenever you want. And,
all right. Thank you.
All right. See you guys later.
Enjoy that big shop.
Oh, thank you. Come visit.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
See you, man.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Anyway.
Thank you, Woodcraft716. Says great program. Been waiting for this. If you want to go full time, jump in, both feet, sink or swim.
Yep. Woodcraft716 is full time, and I would love to have him on the show.
So, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Really quick, I want to do a few shout outs for our states, but there's somebody really, really important on the chat tonight. Somebody super, super important. So, yeah, I saw your mic wasn't fixed.
No, I had it down. So
all of you guys know that, I've told you that I have my 7th and my 8th graders, and then my 8th graders leave to go to the next building the next year. So I actually have one of my 7th and 8th graders that I just had. So one of them's coming to me in 8th grade, and the other one's moving to high school. So I have Maddie and Kendall on here tonight, and these girls, these are my babies. So Kendall's been my baby.
Aren't they all, though?
She's been there. And she's going to the high school. She's leaving me. She's leaving our building this year. So I'm going to miss her so incredibly much. I even told her, I said, I got to talk to your mom, and you're just going to have to come stay the weekend with me because they're my babies. So I want to say hey to Maddie and Kendall that's on here. Thank you guys for coming on tonight.
Lloyd Wagner's in the house.
Lloyd's in the house. And then let's give our states, and I'm probably going to miss some, but I tried to go through there. Okay, so we've got Michigan, Florida, New York, Tennessee, Missouri, Illinois, Montana, Colorado, Georgia, Virginia, Texas, Ohio, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Oregon, Vermont, Canada, Connecticut, North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas. We have Mr. Schultz in the house tonight.
Hey,
Minnesota, Idaho, Michigan, Kentucky, Kansas, California, South Dakota, Guam, Washington, Jamaica, Brazil, and of course, Mississippi.
Jamaica and Brazil and Guam. That's pretty cool.
And Canada.
Canada, eh?
Canada. So I thought that was all super, super cool. And Louisiana. Oh, I see it now. Okay. I knew I said Kansas, but I think.
So if you haven't noticed a little bit of the background, Miss 731 has worked all day in the studio.
Much,
no, you can't, but you can see the fist bump on the wall there now. One of the viewers sent quite a while back. And then there's a picture right there that she had painted for me that you can't see, but you really should.
And the color of the green door, y'all can't see it, is on the wall right up there. So we'll have to post a picture of it. I wonder if I'm going to send you a picture. And if you didn't notice, we do have an extra viewer in here.
You forgot one.
Tonight.
St. Martin's in the house.
It looks kind of yellow from there, but that's okay. I'll text it to you.
Alabama's in.
The green wall color. I put it in here on purpose. So what we're going to talk about, having you guys come on. I didn't want to tie up Mr. Scott's time with that.
Thank you, Great Grandpa.
What we want to do is we want some. Thank you, Great Grandpa. He said I'm late. Here's my penalty. We would never give you a penalty.
No, never.
Okay, so Hey, oh, Maddie said Kendall's crying. She's gonna miss. Yes, I, Kendall, I have cried over you so many times, knowing that you're leaving me this year. I can't stand it. I need you to stay with me, child. Um, but what we want to do, we want you guys to start being on the show with us also. I think getting to meet Mr. Paul Mood the other day was so much fun. And then having these guests come on, I told him, I said, a lot of our viewers, you guys have a lot of good ideas about things. I know Graf has a lot, he specializes in certain things, and Woodcraft does. And, all of you have all these different.
If you're comfortable with it.
If you're comfortable. We would like to, and we're going to give y'all more information on it next week on how to be on it. But we would like to bring on 2 or 3 at a time, 2 or 3 of you at one time.
Maybe like a round table for 5 or 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, and
it don't take up a whole lot of your time.
We won't. Yeah, we won't. But it would give us a chance to see you, and the other viewers a chance to see you. Oh, thank you, Becca. She said coffee for the first week of summer with your girls. Yeah.
But yeah,
Mr.
like
Jackie said, Kendall can come back as a teacher or work with me in a few years.
So, like, Woodcraft has been full time now for a few months, and so we just getting his perspective on things, on how things are going, what's working well, if he wants to share that, what's working well, what's not working well, what are the struggles? Yeah. Because a lot of people's wanting to do the business part of woodworking and sell and things, and so I think if we could bring on people from all over to kind of,
we could even have like a CNC roundtable.
Yeah,
because when we talked about CNCs on here, a lot of you guys...
CNC hates me.
Yeah, a lot of you guys will say, oh, well, I've done this or I've done this. You can try this. So I think that would be a great way for others to figure out maybe, okay, this is something I want to invest in or it's not.
And that's the video series.
Thank you, Michael Mason.
Thank you, man.
Says Matt needs coffee too.
Yeah, fist bump.
But we would like to bring in some of you that just have varying skills and perspectives on here. Wouldn't it be fun to have like Lloyd in the house with Becca Mayberry on here at the same time or something? Some of you have gotten fairly close through this. Some of our moderators have too, and so it would be fun to bring in different groups of you. Only if you were comfortable with it.
Greg Hicks said he would love to see a community run show, maybe once a quarter. So maybe a whole show is like a round table. That'd be sweet.
That would be so much fun.
The goal of
Becca said that would be a riot.
The goal of the show from the get-go was to actually produce content that was beneficial to a lot of people. And so we started out trying to do topic shows, and those did well, but at the same time, I like bringing on guests too, because then you get their perspective. You can ask them what's working and what's not. And then I think she come up with this idea of bringing on the community, and I think it's fantastic.
Well, because I think all of us together are powerful. If it was just me and him, it wouldn't be as much. Even though Flora Lee Davidson says, always watching your contents. You guys are awesome and a power couple.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, thank you, Flora Lee. I love her name.
So what we'll probably do is what she said is we'll probably next week have a Google form that you can go fill out.
I'm going to create a Google form.
Because I have another guest booked for next week, but after that, I don't think we got anybody after that.
You do have one for next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we'll probably do, and we kind of want to know what you guys think too. Thank you to Elm Builds.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. We really want to, I kind of want your opinion on it too. Do you still want us to do our lives every so often with just a straight show, like, how to get started on YouTube or how to sell on Etsy, things like we've done in the past? Or do you prefer having a little mind break of having other people in? Is that something y'all want to see more of? Or
H2 Woodshop, I would love to have you on for SketchUp, because I know nothing about it.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
He's the one who does my plans, in case y'all don't know.
Okay, so San Marcos, Michelle, Lloyd, Corey, yes to... Okay, a yes to a live just with the two of us sound too. Okay.
Are you sure that's what
alternate?
Means?
That's what they're all saying.
Alternate. CNC. We do have a Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/ 731 Woodworkers.
They want to mix. That's what everybody's throwing in here. So that's good.
Yep. Switching up. Yep.
Mr. Lloyd Wagner said that he
missed.
doesn't mind the guests, but he gets the most from the two of us. I think he probably means you, but I think I'm there for mental support.
Cameron Nelson.
Josh Miller. Excited to see your CNC videos. Been thinking about purchasing one. Thank you.
So Cameron Nelson, I got the Shapeco 4 because that's who sent me one. I reached out to a bunch, probably 5 or 6 CNC companies. 2 of them got back with me. Shapeco was one of them. And so they agreed to send me a CNC. I pitched the idea that I wanted to take the CNC and make project. Well, for one, I got to learn to use it and kind of show that process. Not detailed like Myers Woodshop. He's covered it really well. I don't want to rehash that. But show me how to use it, learn how to use it, and then start putting out products and see if I can actually generate income and tell you, yes, it's worth the investment. I think the Shapeco 4 XXL is like $2,300. Then you add the $100 router and maybe another $100 bit setter. So you're looking at right at $2,500. Is it worth that investment or not? And so they like the idea and sent it to me. So that's
okay. So Parley Kennelly says that they agree the guests are great, but they come here for you. So for us. So thank you, Parley. And others are agreeing too. So they want to mix, but I think mostly, maybe once or twice a month bring guests or something. That's what I was telling him.
She did. She told me.
I did. Because
she's usually right.
He said
every now and then.
He said, I've got a guest for next week and the next. This was a week ago. And I said, are you going to bring a guest on every week? Because if you do, then the viewers may, we don't get to have as much conversation. I love having guests on, but I also think it shouldn't be every week. But we would love to have you guys on too. Yeah, I would too. We'd love it. Jason's here for the coffee.
Yep, me too.
Stephanie said, "Wife is right."
Most time. There's been a few times
I texted you a picture up. So you can put it up on the screen.
Takes me
Mr. Lloyd Wagner can...
oh, okay. That's what you want me to do?
Yeah. I painted these frames with the same paint that I painted those doors with at the time. And so, since y'all love this color so much, some of you, I went ahead and put those on the wall today above the live edge sign. I know you can't see it right now, but...
Let me move us out of the way.
But it's... And there's a yellow... The lighting on the picture of Mo is a little bit weird, but... See, we've got the green on the wall, y'all.
What did I do?
I don't know what you've done. We have not tried that coffee yet, Mr. Jackie. We really need to, though. Lloyd said he loves it. Oh, my goodness.
Miss Bledsoe wants to know what's a good affordable CNC. So if you guys know that, you can drop it in the chat.
Thank you, Cassandra.
All I know is the one I've got is a Shapeco 4 XXL. They make one that's just a regular Shapeco 4.
Thank you, Stephanie.
And so it's a little less expensive, but they're all going to be, those type models are going to be around 2,000. So they're not really cheap.
So you guys.
Thank you, Miss Cindy.
Aw, thanks.
Appreciate that.
He has been out in the shop for 2 days. She said, just cause. Thank you. He's been out in the shop for 2 days. Do you have any pictures of it?
I might have a video.
Maybe. He is building our new desk for the studio, so for right here. So that's why I came in here today and was getting everything cleaned up and organized.
Spruced it up.
It's beautiful though, so pretty. He built it out of ambrosia.
Let's do this. Video. So this is the top.
Okay, super pretty, y'all.
Side A. Oh, I was doing side A, side B. Hold on. I think this is side B.
Side B is the one I decided was going to be the top.
Or side B. That's the one you wanted on the top?
Behave yourself. Y'all.
Let's see.
Oh, Lord.
And then there's the legs. It's all clamped up, turned upside down.
They're
not
be angled.
One single pocket hole anywhere on it yet.
Can y'all believe that? No pocket holes.
I said yet.
Yeah. So
if when I unclamp that thing, if it falls apart, pocket holes going in.
He's doing a penetrating epoxy to go on top because of the because of ambrosia.
Y'all heard, what's the name of that movie?
It's Fat Amy. What are you trying to say?
What's the name of that movie?
It's Fat Amy from
No, that's where they all sing a cappella.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it, but
Oh, and just so you know, the ambrosia was given to us by Working the Grain Hardwoods out of Bentonville, Arkansas. I would greatly appreciate if you check him out, wtghardwoods.com. Let
Pitch
him know
perfect.
that.
Thank you, Becca. I can remember Barton Bella's, but that's all.
Let him know that we appreciate him so much for helping us out.
Anyway, so no, we're not doing the legs green, David. Coreless, no. But we are going to put shelves on the wall, not floating shelves. I don't think I want to do floating, but
no, I thought we were doing floating shelves over.
Quit interrupting me. They don't like that.
Who don't?
We're going to put shelves on the wall, also made out of ambrosia, and
Maybe.
Put the same stuff on top of it
if
it works.
I don't have much left.
Oh, then what you going to do it out of?
I don't know.
Just got to put them up there and paint them
I
green.
could go buy $100 sheet of that plywood.
Oh, Maddie said pitch perfect too. Y'all got it going. What joinery?
It's dowels. I've used dowels.
He's been out there fussing with them.
And
but y'all, we need.
If I've done that very often,
because his air unit hasn't come in yet.
Yeah, it's stinky. I mean, hot out there.
It's hot out there.
Which makes me stink.
Makes him stink.
I come in, she's like, "You're gonna have to go take a bath for the show."
So you gotta take a shower. I can't sit by you. Oh, Alfredo, he has not had a chance to get started on any classes yet.
You know what's funny, Alfredo? I thought when I went full time as a YouTuber that I would have all this free time on my hands and I could just, laze around, maybe play some Xbox, maybe buy an Xbox and play it. And then, I don't know, watch TV, do something. I ain't had not a minute spare. I don't know where all my time went when I was actually working.
Bourbon Dad said, man cologne.
I told her it was man musk.
He said it was man musk. I won't tell you what I told him it was. I told him something mean. I won't repeat it.
See, I mean, she is mean to me. There you go. Proof. Proof.
Said, oh, it stunk so bad. Lloyd, I decided that employee of the month this month was going to be Charlie.
I told her that I should have a plaque on the wall every month that I'm employee of the month. And there should be however long I'm employed. Exact same picture for months and months. That would be hilarious. Especially if it was in the shop. Like you could just see them every month, get another one. That'd be fantastic. Would it not?
Got the idea from SpongeBob,
yeah,
y'all.
I did.
I mean, Cassandra told says open up the green door and put a fan in the doorway. I don't think that's going to help.
90 degrees.
It was pretty bad.
Like 100% humidity. It's been raining for like 2 weeks. Feels like it's been 4 days in a row. It's like downpour.
It has washed all the dirt out of all my potted plants that are on the deck. It has washed all of my mulch out of my flower beds. I mean, it's bad.
Rebecca Mayberry. That's pretty funny.
What'd she say? Picture of a pocket screw.
Employee of the month's a pocket screw. That's hilarious.
That's funny.
So, yeah, we got the air conditioner ordered from Northern Tool. I won't be dealing with them again. I messaged them. I'm like, hey, it's supposed to be here May 28th. They're like, well, it's supposed to ship sometime this week. But they still don't know. So,
MKS Wood Art said, be sure to put the camera on that employee of the month plaque, too.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, my goodness. It was rough, y'all.
I tried to get her to come out and sand today, and it was a no-go. So
I worked on this today.
Do
you not like it?
You watch the scary movies.
No. I watched those while I was walking on the treadmill. So I don't watch scary movies. I don't like them. But for some reason I watched The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, just because it was new on HBO. And I thought, hey, okay, let's do that. So since I watched it, I felt like I needed to watch
all of them.
No, the thing that came after. I don't know, something. It wasn't The Conjuring. Annabelle. Madison
wants you to do your dance.
Oh my Lord, which dance, Maddie? She's talking to you. She's talking about this one. You gotta do
That's
it.
Yours.
You gotta do,
I learned that from you.
Nope, you gotta do it for Maddie and Kendall. But anyway, I ended up watching all of the Annabelle, all of the Conjuring, and the Nun because they all work together. And I don't know.
Miss Stephanie Simmons, I like that sander a lot. It is extremely nice. Like I've done a video on it, compare it. Well, I've done an unboxing on the sander and the dust extractor, and then also compared them to my current DeWalt sander and dust extractor that I got. Just kind of a real quick comparison. I don't know when I'll get it out. Maybe in a few weeks because I got some other stuff scheduled before it.
Becca said
But
that
it's
was
nice.
definitely your move.
Yeah, it probably was.
We know it was. Oh my
Two
goodness.
before
Oh,
dance.
Mo's right. He did get
Two
that
before.
from one of her cheers. She taught him. Her,
So she taught me how to dance.
well, hers was a little bit different. Hers was this, and she had to do that. And so, yeah. Anyway,
Striving to thriving.
Two
We're
before
from Arkansas.
I'm from Mississippi.
You sound like you're from Arkansas.
Maybe. Oh my goodness. Alfredo said Mo is on vacation. Put her to work. Well, I wish I could say she was on vacation so I could pick on her, but her master's classes started a week ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
It started a week or 2 weeks after she graduated with her bachelor's, so she's been pretty busy. Red Earth says that he's learned so much from your channel, not only about woodworking, but also about the important things in life. Aw.
Thank you.
Mr. Jackie said his wife and him have been on a horror show kick as well. Watched most of those this week. I don't know why I watched them.
Yeah, because we never watch that kind of stuff.
And I got to tell you, the Annabelle ones, I kind of laughed through them. They didn't scare me at all. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. The Nun, a little bit freaky, but not too bad. But The Conjuring 2, that one got me on Sarah.
She's going to be up all night.
I was jumping.
She watched that while I was out there working.
I was on the treadmill, and I kept looking around. I was like, holy crap. This...
She ain't going to sleep tonight, y'all. She going to wake up with nightmares about every couple hours.
Bad.
That's why she can't watch scary movies.
The Conjuring 2.
You wasn't supposed to watch that while I was outside.
It got all kinds of creepy stuff in it. It's
oh,
like
my goodness.
A little girl levitating and
Miss Cassandra, 731 is our anniversary, July 31st. So we named the business after our anniversary. And we're officially 731 LLC, just so you know.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us be 731.
Yeah, said it was too close to 716 Woodworks that somebody else had. So
I have y'all in my ear on my iPad while watching the Women's College World Series. That's funny. That's what Becca's doing. Yeah, Mo's not getting to take a break. She's gonna be Mo's gonna be she's gonna be exhausted in the next year and a year and 3 months. She's doing a 2 years master's program in 1 year and this summer. So she'll have 2 months of it this summer and then one school year. Thank you, Dylan Prescott. Says, I watched your video on building a dog kennel late last year, built my own, sold it in February. Now I've quit my job and building high-end indoor dog kennels. Thanks for the inspiration. God bless both of you. That's awesome. Man. You need the little... you need the song thing.
This one?
That's awesome, Dylan. Congrats.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I don't know if you heard or not, but we're going to be inviting some of you guys on the show in the upcoming weeks. So be sure to check that out. We'd love to have you tell us your story.
Great.
That'd be awesome.
Becca said Mo gonna have some monkey poo coffee in her Amazon cart. Oh, it's gonna be rough.
That was a hammer, and I dropped it, but it didn't hit nobody, so it's okay.
Look, you made Charlie wake up. Goodness, it's okay, baby. It's a good thing her bed wasn't over there.
Yeah, it'd been bad.
So this is the employee of the month this month. She's been in here the whole time tonight. She's
this week
pretty much not wanting to be away from her daddy. I think because he's been out in the shop. She's been having drawbacks. That and she don't like rain. See, she's wanting you.
Reload and shoot, man. We showed that at the very beginning of the show, and I just dropped it. Stand by.
He did.
I knocked it off the table.
You almost just knocked the whole table over.
Oh, hams himself.
He is the clumsiest person ever.
Reload and shoot, man. Thank you. This is the hammer you made me. It's awesome.
Oh, that was him?
Yep.
Yeah, it is super cool.
It is beautiful.
I love this.
And the wood come off his own property, so that was awesome too.
Oh,
I like it.
You want your daddy or you
maybe one day I can get my CNC to do that. Right now, me and the CNC don't speak the same language.
Maybe she's wanting out. She wants her secret.
Rick Calter, when I was making the noodle board and selling them.
Mic drop, not hammer drop.
That's funny. when I was making the noodle boards and selling them, I was selling them for $100 locally. On Etsy, they were $129 because you had to cover the cost of shipping.
That way you
And
could offer
sometimes,
free shipping.
yeah, sometimes the shipping would cost me $50 if it was going to the West Coast, or if it was just going close by, it was just like $20. But you had to kind of split the difference there.
Bobby Witcher says, thank you guys for the content you put out. You're one of the main reasons I'm pushing myself to get my woodworking up to more than a hobby. Keep it going. Bless you.
Hey,
Thank
hang in
you
there, man.
so much.
It just takes time and it takes a lot of effort. If you're willing to hang in there and put that time in, I really do believe it'll pay off. I highly encourage you to get into content creation if you haven't already, and that it actually helps supplement some of that as you go along.
Yeah, Mo, I was telling Becca about some of your stuff, so I think she kind of knows that you're fixing to have it rough.
She'll be all right.
Yeah, she's
young. She can handle it.
She's a tough cookie. Oh, I don't. Let me see if I can text one of them to come and get Charlie.
She's running. She went to get water.
Oh, okay. Well, she just went back to the door.
I agree.
What?
They think the chairs should be green.
No, I got these on purpose.
I think they should be the same color as the door. That would match the background of the shop, and the door would be green. All this would be green.
Yeah, text the kid to take Charlie out. He's been back there doing nothing anyway.
Yeah, Greg, with the cost, that was before the rise in lumber. So obviously with the cost of lumber being up, you would have to raise your price. I really didn't think about that. And so, yeah, I don't see, if you were going to make them and sell them, then they would need to be on up there.
You know how y'all talk about some of these, you may have to go get Daniel. There he is. Y'all talk about some of, a problem for selling some of this stuff is that local people especially don't always understand the value of what they're getting. When he was making those noodle boards or stove covers, whatever you want to call them, and he had pictures of them and stuff he was putting out. I had a student who come up to me, a boy, and I had no idea that he was a very quiet student. Go ahead and shut that door. He's very quiet, and so he never, I didn't even know he knew about our woodworking stuff at the time. That was Daniel. He took her out. But he come up to me one day and he said, Miss Outlaw, I have a question. And I said, yeah. He said, I want to know why your husband thinks he can build those things that you were putting on stoves and actually make people pay for them. And I said, what are you talking about? I said, my stove covers. And he said, yeah, my parents looked at that and said they would never pay more than a couple of bucks for something like that. And I was like, they don't understand. That's the problem with stuff.
Sometimes. But
you don't, especially local people. It's Daniel.
I keep hearing that squeaky, but it's inside muffled, so I sound like a dog crap.
Did those scary movies get to you?
Maybe.
Are you wigging out a little
Maybe.
bit?
No, I don't like that stuff.
Go.
No, I thought I'd do that. So somebody asked about our shirts. Most of my shirts come from, and her shirt too, come from Mardel.com, Mardel.com, most of them.
Yeah, that's where this one came from. I was trying to think.
Jake Ward wants to know what's your favorite way to get your work out there to promote your business. YouTube, Instagram, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace. A little bit of everything. I never really sold a bunch of stuff coming from YouTube so far. Most of the sales I got was Etsy and locally. Locally, I started out just putting it on Facebook. It doesn't really work. You can't get any organic reach now. You basically have to pay, and the same thing for Etsy, in my experience, is you actually have to pay for some ads, even if it's something small. I was doing $3 a day on Etsy ads. I bumped it to $5 a day and couldn't keep up with the orders, so I dropped it back to $3. Now, the only caveat to that is it takes about 2 weeks for that to kick in. So you're spending $3 a day for 14 days before anything actually starts working. Once it starts, you do pretty good. And Facebook's the same way. You just got to buy a $3 ad on a post.
It's hard to sell anything here locally. If you don't use something like Etsy or Facebook or something, here it's really hard.
Yeah, we're really rural, so it's you have to ship it, basically.
What's a B horror film? What's that mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Woodcraft likes B horror films.
Is that, I guess they never made a theater or something.
Maybe not the A-listers or something.
Mm-hmm. That's Coda. That's who I've been hearing. Coda back there crying.
Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah.
Oh, Mo said that maybe you're hearing that ghost from church.
Billy Clark says when the green door comes up, you want to change the subject fast.
Can y'all hear that? our our other dog is screaming for us. He's crazy. How does your business split, if you don't mind me asking? Product sales versus content creation.
The only thing we're selling right now is
Woodcraft
digital
by
stuff. Yeah.
Suman?
So we're just selling digital products like plans, things like that. I'm fixing to start selling CNC products that I make.
Low budget movies.
That I'm going to put on the store, the online store. That's the plan. It's there, and maybe Etsy if I can produce enough of them. And that's what I'm going to try to do.
It's funny whenever every so often he'll get a message on Etsy saying, "Hey, I haven't received my
I got one yesterday.
Table. I haven't received my stove cover."
She changed the subject. I know.
What?
Hey, President Wagner called you out on it. Not me.
Were we talking about green?
The door. Yeah.
When? I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind on camera, y'all. But yeah, be careful of that on Etsy. Make sure if you're selling a digital plant.
Yeah, you got a list on there that's digital. I had somebody from the UK, was it last year? They bought it
was at Christmas
table
time,
plan,
and you didn't send her table for $3.99.
And she wanted the $3. She paid for a table and wanted her table. I was like, no, you paid for a plan.
She paid $3.99.
PDF plan. She's like, well, I want the physical product. I was like, well, you ain't getting it for $3.99.
She said, I bought that as a gift, I think, for her daughter. I was like,
oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. They all calling me out on the green. Okay, so let's just hash out this green door thing with the 200 and something people left in here.
Well, we hashed out. Go for it. I thought you was going to hash it out.
I don't have.
Give it to us.
I don't have any more of that green paint left. Can't find the green paint. I've had people ask for the color of the green paint. I really can't find it to give it to them. I don't know. Yeah. But see, if we chop that door up into little pieces or scraped the paint off, I can mail y'all pieces of it. If we
they won't see in the videos. How did I package my noodle boards?
Change the subject.
If you go to the Etsy video that I made last year, you just search 731 Etsy and you'll find it. In that video, it shows how I package them. Basically, a bunch of bubble wrap and cardboard.
We can send you some. Can you ship paint? Stephanie's on my side. Change the door. See, my problem is the black stripe that's on it. I put that on there, and something happened with the dogs or something. I had to come inside, and I come inside, and for some reason didn't make it back to that door that day.
Sounds like a higher level intervened on the green door's behalf.
You just need to worry about that ghost you saw in church and leave me alone. He saw somebody sitting on the pew with us.
There was somebody sitting on the pew with us. He had some nice boots on. Nice, clean cut young man. All the way
there was nobody sitting there.
Had a beard, dark
and not
beard.
Pew, but our church, we have it in a big gym. Yeah, and they have chairs set up by sections. And normally,
about 5 chairs over.
One family sits
nice looking young man, but
per row in each section.
Real nice alligator skin boots. Blue jeans.
There was nobody there.
Yeah, he was there. Y'all just didn't see him.
You were the only one who saw him.
I can't help you didn't look over there.
Oh my gosh. Mo was sitting. It was him, me, Mo, and then like 3 empty chairs. And he's saying somebody was sitting there because our boys went with us. Yeah, there wasn't anybody there. And they're still talking about the green door.
Of course they are. Green doors matter.
Green doors need to be painted. R.H. Harley said, first of all, hey, R.H. Harley.
Hey, man.
Just wanted your opinion on using a Ryobi job site table saw for the jointing you did on your last jointing video. Do you think it will be accurate enough?
If that fence is square, just double check that the fence is square to the blade. If it is, I don't know that it matters that much if you're using the level to run it by. But just if it's square to the blade, I think it'll work just fine. Yeah. Give it a try. Take a couple small pieces. I know it's expensive to use.
Hanley's Homestead said, Angel wearing nice boots. I like it. That's awesome. I got to look for whoever. You got to point this person out to me and let me see if my eyes can see them.
When we're there next Sunday, Lord will, I'm going to say, hey, man, I saw you last Sunday. Give him a fist bump, and then you'll know that he was there.
Yeah, that wouldn't be weird for anybody.
No. You in church, you can walk up to anybody in church.
Can you not walk up to anybody anyway?
Well, yeah, but it's a little more awkward if you just walk up to some random stranger in the Walmart and be like, "What's up, man?"
Y'all,
Just try
I'll
to
be
give them
making
work.
friends everywhere I go.
She showed
I
us.
was waiting in the hallway of a nasty gas station coming back from Nashville, and another lady was waiting there also, and we had us a good conversation. We did. And then in the mall twice, y'all know those motion activated water and hand soap dispensers? They have those in the mall in Nashville. And 2 different times I went to the bathroom, me and another lady were trying to get them to work. And we were like trying to use each other's, and we had the best time talking about it and laughing. So you can just walk up to anybody.
I got a question. I was reading. Sorry. How scared were you to rip off the Band-Aid and quit your steady job? I'm a teacher, and the crazy price of lumber, it makes me very nervous. My hat is off to you. Well, for one, we're making content full-time, so we're not really making woodworking our full-time job.
So the cost of lumber is not really
while we're doing woodworking, we're doing that on the side. Basically to make videos out of. However, with that said, even the lumber that I'm using for like the desk build was donated by Working the Grain Hardwood. So it's a little different. And then somebody else in the same vein says, well, for one, it was scary leading up to it. Once I made the jump and made the decision, if you watch that video where I talk about that, I've been at peace with it ever since. And my stress level has been from up here down to here, giving up that job. Good job.
It was
high
hard,
stress.
though.
It was very hard.
It was a very hard decision. And I think if he had had more time to think about it, it may have made it even harder. But he kind of felt like he was told to do it, and he listened like right then. So
some ways to offset the cost of lumber. I don't know, unless you can get some small projects that you can batch out and it works well.
Just put them down. He's screaming, y'all. Sorry. He knows we're a little past time.
Sorry, MKS. I had my volume turned down. Actually, I adjusted it back down after Mr. Scott left, and so I pulled it too far.
Do any of y'all have a pup out there that just goes nuts?
You just saw me an hour ago. Let him go. Doofhead.
Don't let him scratch the table. He cannot take it for us to be away from him, especially his mama.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you were gonna get hurt.
With that said.
Oh, I know, baby. He's crying.
You
hear him? Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
can y'all hear that? That's funny. No, not yet. We're not done. Now,
now we're done.
Yeah, we better just get off of here. Made the jump, Mr. Build It, and he's doing very well. It might be time to go for it. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff, darling.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what every guest that we've had on the show, just put her down. Just put her down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, hold on to her.
She got a scrape leg.
I think she got hurt. Every guest that's come on the show, that's been the one thing they've said: go for it, go for it, go for it. It's the scariest thing in the world.
It is scary, but
and if you don't have any,
I wouldn't say just go for it without any plan in place.
Yeah.
Like
right.
You're working today and you don't have nothing set up. You don't have any tools. You don't have any projects that you made. Just with good common sense.
Yeah, like if when I say or when I think about go for it, I think more along the lines of start a plan that's going to lead you there.
Mm-hmm.
Give yourself a timeline if you need to. Okay, within 6 months, I want to be able to do this full time, or within 3 months, or
3
year.
years, 5 years.
However you want to do it. Put a plan in place. Don't wait at all.
Mm-hmm.
When we say just go for it, that's what I think of. Go for it. Putting that plan in place. Because we knew that he was thinking about this and he was starting to feel this, and so we talked about it and we were like, well, if this is ever an option, then we need to have something in place to kind of help buffer a little of it. And so that's what we did, and that's what I think you should do. I don't think you need to just wait.
Just do it.
Get started. Put your plan in place right now. It's the same thing as if you decide to go back to college because you want a job. You're not going to have that job tomorrow. You're going to have to go to college for 4 years and then have that job.
Yep.
That's a 4-year plan. So put a plan in place for that too. It's like anything.
Yeah, just, Brother Riff says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You just one bite at a time. You just got to try to get in there and just do it, man. Just get out there. And for one, it's more about putting yourself in that position, and it's like Woodcraft said a while ago, sink or swim type thing. It's just like once you're in that position, there's no safety net there, and if I stop making videos today, the money stops coming in. I mean, not immediately, but it'll dwindle off as the channel dies off.
Good night, Becca.
But
Corey Geese says that he has a 110-pound lab that does that. He cries when he leaves. Just
that's funny.
That's funny.
Yep.
All right. Well,
thank you guys so
y'all
much.
got some good stuff from the show tonight. We'll have a guest next week, and then the next week it'll just be the two of us.
I probably can't sing that on. I get copyright strike.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. Have a good night.
Good night.